Honorable Matema.
Matema, yes. Please proceed.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir. I rise to add my voice to the report presented by Honorable Kareni, which is centered on climate change, shocks. And Mr. Speaker, say, I want to locate my submission looking at climate change as a human rights issue, which is cross-cutting. To the extent that there is not even a single sector that is spared by climate change. And on account of that, as a country, we have a collective responsibility, a collective charge to chart our path going into the future so that we create an environment that is sustainable. We create a people that are resilient in the face of the climate extremes. Mr. Speaker, say, building on the recommendations and submissions made and captured in the report, we have attended 1,001 times Conference of Parties at a global scale. I think it is about time that we come closer home and domesticate interventions around climate change and climate change impacts. And the Kampala Declaration that was adopted in January 2025, which is an EU framework that is going to run from 2026 to 2035, is one strong building block that we can count on and build on as a country in terms of the mitigation efforts, in terms of the adaptation efforts, building on our national adaptation plan. Mr. Speaker, say, why I submit that we need to come closer home and have our own version of the Conference of Parties that is domesticated. It is important for us across ministries to converge on this very important and existential matter of climate change. I get the sense that we are too scattered and fragmented in terms of the way we are looking at climate change. In the season where we are seized with, when this House is seized with the Climate Change Management Bill, it is time that we need to build on that in coming up with a framework that is domesticated, coming up with a framework that is homemade, that will speak to mitigation that is informed by realities that are obtaining on the ground in our great nation. And in that space, we need to take everyone on board, leaving no one and no place behind, because climate change is cross-cutting. Mr. Speaker, say, how do we get our village science to converge with conventional science? How do we ride on artificial intelligence to glean into the future in light of the adaptation that we need to come up with around anticipatory adaptation? We need to anticipate changes that can happen in the future. And we can do that based on artificial intelligence, based on science, conventional science, to glean into the future. But it is also important that we ride on village science, village wisdom, because once upon a time, our very key and sensitive ecosystems were preserved on account of village wisdom. So we need to bring on board everyone, our traditional leaders, taking care of our environment, taking care of our wetlands, taking care of our forests for the greater good. Mr. Speaker, as we transition from NDS 1 to NDS 2, NPA 4 is very clear in terms of its prescriptions, in terms of environmental management, in terms of resilience, and in terms of food security. We need to come up with a food secure environment, but that security is threatened by climate change. It was well captured in the report that climate change is a threat multiplier, but we also need to look at the other side where climate change is a multiplier of opportunities and get those two extremes to converge for the greater good. What are the opportunities inherent in the impact that climate change has? We can look at the carbon credit market. It's an opportunity that is presented in the current season that we need to seize as a country going forward, as we go up the scaffold of development from a sustainable standpoint across sectors. Mr. Speaker, let me say, as I wrap my submissions in support of the report presented, that we have collectively a jot, our work is cut out on account of the cross-cutting impact that climate change has, and on account of that, let's look inwards and domesticate interventions around this matter that is threatening humanity. Thank you so very much, Mr. Speaker.